Hello there and welcome to the final of the Hero Hockey World League final. It is New Zealand versus the Netherlands. We're here at the Major Dhyan Chand National Stadium in New Delhi. Thanks for joining us. An exciting game to look forward to. The fans are up for it. The Dutchies are here in numbers and some of the home fans as well. And there is our first look at the trophy, which one of these sides will be taking back home. Netherlands in the all-orange kit, New Zealand in the all-black, and there, the first ever Hero Hockey World League trophy. There's the skipper Robert van der Horst of the Netherlands. Where did all this Dutch support come from? New Zealand fans will be tuning in bright and early in the morning over there. Just gone 3:30, I think. Good morning. Are you brave enough to have got up for this one? Mrs. Haig's here, as she has been all week. We'll have the national anthems and then the final. Here we go. It's the Hero Hockey World League final between the Netherlands and the Black Sticks, New Zealand. Take your seats, get your wigs on. Michael Absalom here to guide you through this game. Both sides marching through to the finals. Netherlands beating Australia yesterday, New Zealand beating England. And both sides set, and let's see how they line up with Manchester in goal for New Zealand. Haig, Child, Cousins the captain, Burrows, Shaw, Russell, Tarrant, Jenas, Ingles and Edwards all in the starting 11. No Shea McAleese, unfortunately. He's fractured his orbit, that hit into the face yesterday, but does watch from the bench. There are the New Zealand team gathered ahead of this final. Their opponents, the Netherlands, Stockman in goal, Vermeulen, Joly, Bakker, Hertzberger, Kemperman, De Voogd, Hofman, Devine, Van der Horst and Van der Veerden, the starting 11. Van der Veerden, who scored 2 goals in yesterday's semi-final. Paul Van As will be hoping that he delivers again this evening. The last game of the Hero Hockey World League final, umpired by Germán Montes de Oca of Argentina. and Gary Simmons of South Africa. Child there just getting in a final few stick skills before he pushes back for this final. Ingels alongside him. Joly there of the Netherlands, Bakker. Some world-class players out there. So New Zealand to get us started in the final of the Hero Hockey World League. New Zealand versus the Netherlands. New Zealand playing in all black from left to right, attacking the goal to our right-hand side, defended by a sea of orange shirts in the form of the Netherlands. Bakker and Hertzberger starting up front for the Dutch. Vermeulen also just holding the midfield now as Haig picks up possession, and the Netherlands sitting back. So the Dutch, who didn't have the best start to this tournament, losing 5-2 to Argentina, haven't looked back since. A win against Australia by 1-0. They drew against Belgium 2-2. Then they beat Germany, the Olympic champions, by 2-1 before beating Australia for a second time in the tournament in the all-important semi-final yesterday, winning by 4-3. This man on the ball was influential yesterday. Mink van der Weerden, man of the match. Hertzberger, 11 goals for the Netherlands in round 3 when these two sides last met. They met in the pool stage and the score finished 3-3. But in the third place game there, to qualify for this tournament, Netherlands beat New Zealand by 4-1. So that's the last time they played internationally against each other. Simon Mason, former GB goalkeeper, joins me in the commentary box to watch this final. Simon, it's been a great event, and what a final we have in store as Vermeulen now comes forward and tries to get into the D for the first circle penetration. Has it pinched away? It'll be a long corner, came off Tarrant.
Yeah, and one of the teams on paper at the start of this you may well have predicted would have made the final. You wouldn't have predicted New Zealand would have got there. However, they've played well when they've needed to, haven't necessarily run out clear winners in any of the games they've gone through the competition, but they've made things count when they want, and the likes of Kane Russell's been outstanding down the right-hand side, and indeed it looks like Hertzberger's been put on him to prevent him going forwards too much.
Interception from Kemperman with Hertzberger outside of him, a bobbly ball in the D, which Cousins is there to pass back to Shaw, goes across the baseline. It'll be a restart. Last touch came from Hertzberger. There is the young and very talented Kane Russell with 2 goals in the tournament so far.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup between him and Mink van der Weerden. Mink being incredible in the semi-final. 2 of the flicks going to his favourite top right-hand corner as he looked, but unstoppable from a goalkeeper perspective. Kane Russell also able to deliver, and it'll be the effectiveness not just of those individuals but the routine. We've seen a lot of traps missed at the top of the circle, so the team's going to have to make sure the injections are flat and true and accurate, and the stopper will be really on his guard.
4 goals in the tournament for Mink van der Weerden. 2 yesterday, as you said, and 1 against Argentina, 1 against the Olympic champions Germany. Netherlands, remember, the Olympic silver medalists, looking to pick up their first gold for some time. Had a lot of bronze last year, and now time to get back on the top spot. The Dutch women, of course, beat Australia by 5-1 in the Hockey World League final in Tukkuman at the end of last year. Who's going to win this inaugural tournament? Will it be the Black Sticks, or will it be the Dutch?
Well, it wouldn't surprise me to see the Black Sticks remain reasonably close to the Dutch through these early exchanges, but my concern for the Black Sticks is the depth of quality that the Dutch squad has. If you were to run down the players, it becomes a little bit of a who's who from a Dutch perspective, and in the latter stage of the game they're going to have a better squad to run from.
Scrambled away there at the back by Tarrant. Sideline ball, which is taken by Bob de Voogd. Acres of room here for Joly to spread it wide. Here's the Dutch captain again, Van der Horst, back to Joly. And he's got Devine here as well. Kemperman just gets it stuck under his feet, and a little rush pass there from Simon Child, heart racing.
And at times, New Zealand will probably find themselves starved of ball as the Dutch handle it well. And it was an interesting height of press a moment ago as the Dutch were high on their left flank. New Zealand has sat right back and allowed it to go back to Yoli, and then they tried to step out, and that's a really difficult thing to do.
What a take from Child, one-handed, as he pinches it back from Kemperman, cuts in field, and now plays in his teammate Edwards. Edwards drives forward with the ball back, looking towards Child at the head of the D. It was intercepted in the end by Hoffman. Rogier Hoffman now comes out to Hertzberger. This is where the Dutch are so strong, and certainly an area Colin Batch was slightly worried about ahead of the game, the counter-attack and the speed in which the Dutch deliver this final blow. Bakker now threads the ball back through Devine, cross-field. Yoli now on the right-hand side, thinking about going infield. Here's Van der Veerden. Ball does eventually come into the circle, but a strong take from Alex Shaw on the forehand.
It had to be strong. Van der Veerden, well known for his flicking, but absolutely drilled that into the heart of the New Zealand D. Childs at the head of that New Zealand press, not in shot now, just hanging off a little bit, walking a little bit slow to make his movement across the circle, sorry, across the halfway line.
There's another bobbly one that goes into the D, finds Bakker, gets his eyes up, looks for that deflection. It was Van Ass throwing himself towards it, got a final touch on it, took it wide of the post.
Well, Bakker and Van Ass both appealing and saying that was actually a defensive touch in front of Sevi Van Ass. If it was a great one, because it really looked like his entire body had got across the goal in front of Manchester.
Vermeulen 1-2 with Hoffman. Hoffman all the way through into the D, nothing there from that.
And Hoffman, one of the players that when I was looking through the team list and thinking who'd done what over the course of these games, you could identify that somebody like Balkenstein's been brilliant in the heart of the defence of the Netherlands. People such as Bakker going up front, and then Hertzberger, but they need a little bit more from some of the players like Hoffman.
There's a look at the Australian side, an Australian team which lost to England in the bronze medal match. All the results today finishing 2-1. England finishing on top, and only just in that bronze medal game, went right to the death, but England hanging on to win by 2-1. Belgium also beating India by 2-1, and Germany on the wrong end of the table. They took 7th after beating Argentina by the same scoreline, 2-1. Disappointing tournament for Germany, and the Netherlands looking to capitalise. Manchester gets his first real foot behind it, his first real touch of the game.
And Jonker flinched in the heart of the circle as it came back off Manchester. But I think the ball had gone about 10 yards past him before his brain had processed where it had gone, so certainly not dangerous. Nobody thinking it so.
Here's Jenis against Yoli. Hasn't got any support there. Closest to him is Marcus Child. Might have to come all the way back and round here through Bartholomew and Shaw. Russell over on this near touch line. 9 balls on. Couldn't quite pick it up on the reverse stick, Jacob Smith. Smith, who scored in the pool stages against the Dutch in round 3, finished 3-3. Scorers on that day, 2 goals for Hertzberger and Berger for the Netherlands, 2 for Ingles and 1 for Smith. How far have they come since the summer? Certainly end-to-end stuff at the moment, but the Dutch with the best of the attack so far. Overlapping run from Vermeulen.
Good awareness from Bob de Vogt as he stepped forward through midfield for that free hit. Looked forwards, was looking for those passes towards the Black Sticks goal mouth, but realised that he had that overlap, and the overlap from Vermeulen wasn't covered. New Zealand hadn't tracked him, the front line hadn't come back.
Blair Hilton's worn that one on the ankle and comes straight off to get some medical attention on that one. Hilton, who's been fantastic on New Zealand's route to the final, calm under pressure during the penalty strokes, during that penalty shootout, but here's it, replayed, tried to jump it, still caught him on the ankle, that unprotected area just between the shin pad and the shoe. What a great turn of pace. An equally good step from Shaw to read that ball that was heading towards Sevi Van As.
Sander Bart had burst through from a deep right-hand side position. It was Alex Shaw who had to step forward, used every inch of his long reach to step and intercept. If he hadn't done so, New Zealand were in a real trouble.
Yeah, Shaw just 23 years of age, at the heart of the Black Sticks defence. Black Sticks under a little bit more pressure here. A missed trap there, though, from Sander Devine. Kept in play by Hugo Ingles. One back by Utuyoli, though.
Well, Ingles, I think, would have disappointed Batch in that moment because he had absolutely nothing on, electing to smash it towards the circle. He was looking for Jenas in the middle of the D, but that was all that New Zealand had in the attacking 25. In those situations, you really need to look to spin out of the corners, bring the midfield into play. Even if it takes 3 or 4 seconds to draw them up, you can just stand still for that long. You don't have to do something with the ball every time you get it.
If you're just joining us, New Zealand 0, Netherlands 0. You haven't missed anything yet. Some sensible passages of play from the Netherlands as they look to build an attack here. A chance around the back and escapes off the stick of Rogier Hoffman. Acres of room there around the back. Burrows comes out with the ball for the Black Sticks. Ranked 7th in the world against the Netherlands here. A good few places above them in 3rd. So the Netherlands very much the favourites for the final. But can New Zealand deliver another upset in this tournament? Yesterday, England underestimated them. They took them all the way and to a shootout, and then kept their cool in the shootout to defeat England and march through to the final here this evening against the Netherlands. Great spirit they played with yesterday, Simon.
They did play with great spirit, and there's a lot of belief there as well. They've got some real experience through their side, and that enables them to create certain patterns. Now, they don't necessarily have the flair of some of the other world's top 3 or 4 sides, but they do have great structure and really good conditioning, which means they can keep playing all the way through these games. And they've got good awareness of the spaces that they can play to. A moment ago, we saw Marcus Child just throwing a ball out towards the corner flag because he's got confidence that Jenas has the pace to out-sprint someone like Sander Devine and pick that ball up in dangerous positions.
Van der Horst inside his defensive 25. Devine back to Van der Veerden. There's that aerial ball that's so dangerous and so accurate. Wonderful pass over the halfway line that sets up this Dutch attack. It's Hoffman driving forward, has it pitched away from him for the long corner. What an aerial ball, though, from Van der Veerden.
It was long, it was accurate, it had the correct height on it, it skipped absolutely into Hoffman's path. And having spoken about him earlier, I think Hoffman's had more effect and influence in this first 10 minutes than he's had pretty much in any game so far this tournament.
Yeah, agree with that. Rogier Hoffman really finding his stride. Here he is now with another cross in. Oh, it was a gift for Hertzberger. It must have taken some sort of deflection to take it onto his foot. If not, he's missed an open goal here, Hertzberger.
Well, Shaw leaves it. All of a sudden, it's out. Manchester gets a tiny, tiny touch. And it hits Hertzberger's foot.
It was close. Almost our opening goal of this Hero Hockey World League final. 104 goals in the tournament so far when these two sides met in Rotterdam back at the end of the summer in round 3 to get here. 130 goals were scored in the 24 matches. Quite as many here in India. Hard tackle comes in just outside the 25. Umpire just wants things calmed down there a little. Burrows, no surprise, at the heart of the action. That winning penalty in the shootout against England. They went absolutely balmy here. Not sure what it was like back home in New Zealand for you. The reaction pitch side, the Black Sticks, thrilled to be in the final. Some chat back home as well of emulating the team of '76, which went on to win gold at the Montreal Olympics.
There'll be Australia in the final, I think 1-0 from some sort of historical recollection.
Close, 2-1 versus the Netherlands. That was in the semi-final, and then they did go on to beat Australia in the final. Australia, the silver medalists. Good memory, Mace, well done. You've been swatting up.
No, I just happened to be downstairs talking to Barry Dancer, who was my Great Britain coach for the Olympics in 2000. He was part of that Australian team, so one of the only moments when they lost to New Zealand. Oh, Inglis needs to be careful there, because that's a horrible tackle as he came in off the left flank to try and deny some Dutch possession. Got his feet in the wrong place, and it's only a metre difference, but in that metre all of a sudden the angles all change.
Oh, lovely turn from Hertzberger on the baseline, looks to open the score and went reverse stick and shot wide. But the turn of pace that Hertzberger showed here on the baseline was immense.
Brilliant pick, roll, cuts in field, knows exactly what he's trying to do, just doesn't get enough touch on the backhand shot.
Well, I think Jonker was coming in for the forehand stick shot.
Yeah, not sure whether Hertzberger would have known that, but as soon as he picked that ball up with enough space to accelerate into, he knew exactly what he wanted to try and do.
Acres of room here then, a chance for Kemperman to put them ahead. Save from Manchester. Again, Kemperman comes in. Now they find the baseline. Far post is open and the Netherlands have their opening goal. Jonker, the goal scorer, a third in the tournament for him. And our first goal of this Hockey World League final. It's Netherlands 1, New Zealand 0.
Well, it's the second phase play. The strike from Kemperman, brilliant, great goalkeeping, really good agility, and the clearance is just poor. Kemperman spins round his feet, the delivery across the goal relatively simple, the tap in even more so.
Puissant setting up that far post tip in for Constantijn Jonker, and the Netherlands have the lead here. Jonker scoring on 17 minutes.
But it was all about the awareness in the build-up. The Dutch had gone down the right-hand side, threatened the deep defence of New Zealand, and it was a great cutting, eliminating cross-field pass that found Kemperman. He knew that he had time to pick up, swing. Manchester doing so well, but unable to deny the second or maybe even the third phase of that Dutch attack.
The Netherlands just settle back into their pattern, moving the entire black stick side around. A little mistrap there at the back from Yoli, and that allows the New Zealand side to step forward. They put on a slightly more aggressive press here now. Burrows steaming forward. Gets a little touch on that. Bartholomew puts some pressure on his man. But Vermeulen gets away, and this is where the Dutch have looked dangerous, spreading it from side to side. Hertzberg with lots of room. Van Ass ahead of him. Far post is open again. They look to make it two. It was Hoffman on the far post. Bakker was there as well. Van Ass with the final pass across the goal.
Although I think Manchester got a touch. Certainly a long corner was given, which suggests that either Manchester or Black Sticks defender got a touch. We've got a video referral from the Netherlands.
Yeah, Vermeulen just pointing to a foot there. I think he's going to ask for the foot inside the D. Let's see what the question is from the umpire.
Netherlands is asking for a foot inside the area.
Okay, I'm looking for a defender's foot in the penalty, in the area.
So, simple question, did it hit the New Zealand foot in the circle?
There's Vermeulen with the skills. Little mistrap there. Yeah, if anyone's, it touches Nick Hague there on the foot, just on the bounce back. Can't really tell from that angle. Look at that first angle again for me. Yeah, it looks like it comes off that left shin.
Yeah, just bounced above the lace of the shoe. I don't think Vermeulen, he couldn't get his face a lot closer to that, could he, on his knees in front of Hague's ankles?
It hit the New Zealand defender's foot. You should award a penalty corner to the Netherlands. Netherlands retain their referral.
Perfect, thank you.
So the Netherlands get their first penalty corner of this final. This is the last chance that the Dutch had. Hertzberger to Sevi Van Ass. He had Bakker and Hoffman on the far post. Neither of them able to get stick contact on that. But now a really good opportunity with Van der Veerden at the head of the D. Penalty corner number 1 of the night. Van Ass watches on. Hertzberger and van der Weerden at the head of the D. This to make it 2. Whistle's gone. Umpire was just waiting for everything to steady down. That was just to get the time back on. They reset. Here is van der Weerden at the head of the D. 4 goals in the tournament so far, and Manchester keeps that one out. It was palmed into the postman, I think, Dean Cousins, if we look at it in slow motion shortly, but the shot, no doubt about that, on target. Plenty of power and fizz behind this one, but Manchester keeping it out.
Yeah, Manchester upright, balance, big left hand. Does that take a touch off the #1 runner to come back into him?
Look at the line the wrong way, isn't he?
That I reckon that gets a touch. You can argue therefore it's going slightly wide off him, which is why it's a corner, not a penalty stroke.
Conversion rate of the Dutch so far, 3 from 22 in the tournament. This penalty corner number 2. Yeah, certainly an area they can improve. A little bobble there takes it away from the stick stopper. Netherlands keep it in play. Playing some short hockey within the D. Kemperman regathers.
Given that was, so it's now 3 from 23 corners, given that 2 of them were in that semi-final game, van der Weerden, the Dutch will definitely want to improve that ratio.
Some chat from players and coaches that the D has been a little bit bobbly, not been too easy, but Bakker here with a good chance with his back 2 goal. Vermeulen charged down by Burrows and wins the free hit for New Zealand.
I have to say that Vermeulen was on the forehand. I know the ball was bouncing a little bit, but the player's tendency to rock from right to left onto the backhand at times is a little bit worrying, really, from a hockey purist. Everybody goes right to left on the backhand. Yes, you can generate more power with the blade of the stick, but that ball was dropping for him and he could easily smash it on the forehand.
Dropped nicely for Kemperman and wins the free hit against Burrows this time. Van Ass must move it 5 metres. He does do there. There's another deflection, comes up towards Hertzberger. Onto the reverse stick shot. Manchester again down low to it to deny the Netherlands. Hertzberger's not finished yet here. Keeps it in play. Comes up off Cousins' stick long corner.
Great goalkeeping from Manchester. From that range, that didn't just hit him, he actually moved into the path of that ball. Great reactions.
One 0 the Netherlands lead. Jonker the goal scorer on 17 minutes. 14 left to play in the first half. The first ever final of the Hockey World League. Crowd have stuck around, having seen the host side, India, lose by 2-1 in the 5th, 6th place playoff. Look at the domination there of the Netherlands in this first half. And the circle penetrations too, 12-2 in their favour. And just have a look at that, New Zealand without a shot on target inside this first half.
Yeah, and you look at that as the Dutch build things up. What you can't see here is away to the left of the shot. You've got Sevi Van Ass standing nearly on Manchester's kicker straps. They're the Netherlands totally prepared to stretch play as much as possible. Be patient round the back, try and see if New Zealand lose a little bit of focus.
Great attention from Janis there to pick that up. He just turned his body on it. Really tough skill, looking over his shoulder, picked it up in an almost fighter pilot style way. Top gun.
Smart from Kane Russell, he got caught spinning.
A deflection there as Burrows' shot was outside the far post. No one inside the D. Ingles and Janis the closest. Panchier and Child come on. Simon Child waits in the wings to join the action up front.
Well, that 45-degree channel is what you talked about in the last game, Mike, for Australia, exploiting it from the left-hand side. That far post, if you can fire a ball in towards that far post and the players can commit to the attack and slide in, the slightest touch is going to take it goal-bound. I guess it's kind of like in cricket, a corridor of uncertainty. You put a ball in it and any touch, any fine edge is going to carry to the slips in that situation here towards goal.
As an Englishman, I don't talk about cricket. Here's the Netherlands to make it 2. Jonker, the goal scorer, had it pinched away from him. Ball comes in, there's a deflection, Bakker with the final touch. Netherlands get their second, and they lead New Zealand here in the final by 2-0.
And again, it's second phase play. New Zealand with the opportunity to clear as they had for the first goal. It's the recycle as it comes in, it's pulled away, it's not cleared. Kemperman feet round across the circle, the easiest of touches in for Bakker. But New Zealand had every chance before that gets fed in from Kemperman to get the ball away from danger. Bakker with a simple finish.
New Zealand a little bit there, caught watching the ball just from that slow motion replay. Bakker able to get his stick and his body in front of the last line of defence of New Zealand. Bakker on 24 minutes then, extending the Netherlands lead. Things looking good here. For Holland, obviously. For New Zealand, who have plenty of work to do to get back into this game. 11 minutes in the first half. A goal here in the first half for New Zealand would certainly relieve a little bit of that pressure going into the second. Shaw picks it up and passes to Russell. He takes a little deflection off Buisson infield. Jonker gathers. Bart, who's now moved into this left channel.
The New Zealand forwards have been absolutely starved of ball. I can't remember Simon Childs coming forward with it more than once. Yennis and Inglis, exactly the same situation. They're just not getting any ball at all. The Dutch handling it really well across the back division. Fluidity as they come forward into midfield. And it makes the running so tiring. If you're getting a little bit of ball back, it's not as bad, but New Zealand running with absolutely nothing, or gaining nothing from the running.
Edwards on the ball, will be staying in Delhi to take part in the Hockey India League, playing for the Delhi Wave Riders. Over 160 caps now for Edwards, as he looks to bring the ball forward just yard by yard. Who's he got in support? Ingles ahead of him, and there's Russell inside him. Quick restart from Simon Childs. Here's a chance, ball bobbles loose. Don't think the New Zealand player here was 5 off Childs' shoulder.
I'm not sure where Child even took the free hit from. The whole passage of play seemed to be very fluid through that midfield channel.
And if you're just tuning in New Zealand, good morning. New Zealand trail here by 2-0. Jonker putting the Netherlands ahead on 17 minutes. Bakker extending 7 minutes later. So 2-0 it stands at the moment.
Yeah, the frustration for New Zealand, those people who joined us who maybe didn't see it, was that they actually had the ball on their stick in their own circle. The first phase attack had been cleared, but it was the second phase attack that did the damage. They just didn't get the ball away from their lines well enough and allowed the Netherlands to come at them a second and even a third time, and that's what did the damage.
Marcus Child there on the far side of the pitch. Played his part in the tournament so far, got a nice little goal. Also scored a penalty versus Argentina in the shootout. Plenty of experience in the shootouts. A few more grey hairs back home in New Zealand. Not for the players, they've been taking it in their stride. And here's Ingles now with a chance. Punch here, under the shoulder to Child. Best chance of the half so far for New Zealand. Child coming forward onto that reverse stick side. Now swivels and turns. The shot parried away by the Netherlands defence. That the best chance of the half, though, for Simon Child and for New Zealand.
Simon Child had absolutely nowhere to go. Mink van der Veerde, Balkenstein all over him. Flat sticks getting their feet round in the end. That's a flashed shot that goes nowhere near the goal.
This is where the Dutch have looked dangerous. Again, a turn of pace down that right-hand flank, in and around the D. No, goes over the baseline, I think. Yep, says umpire Montes How can New Zealand get back into this game? What are they going to do differently? At the moment, they're not creating enough up front. The Dutch here, as you can see, just absolutely swarming them. Eventually, Shaw comes in with a heavy tackle that brings down Buisson, but then that just opens up some more space up front. Bart now with the ball forward, Hertzberger! Well, the keeper didn't know too much about that. I think that might have come in off the post. If not, it was a touch from Manchester again.
Well, if it's come off the goalkeeper, they're the bounciest kickers I've ever seen. It happened so fast. It's either gone into the kickers of the goalkeeper or, as you say, thudded against the inside edge of the far post from us. To answer your question, Mike, they just have to hold the ball better, try and transfer it to space if they can. They seem to be playing through the same channel that they win the ball.
Here's Marcus Child now, overlapping run from Bartholomew, has to change gear but can't quite keep it in play on the Netherlands 25. Here's that chance again.
Ball played in, Sandergaard, and it was that near post Hertzberger, can't believe it.
Yeah, certainly pinged across the face of goal after hitting the post.
And it was great awareness from Sandergaard as he picked it up. He knew where Hertzberger is, and the reason these players can pass the ball so fast is pre-scanning. They'll be looking around them before they get it, as opposed to your average hockey player when someone passes to them, it's just right, I've got the ball, now I'll make a decision. The guys at this level will know, like almost snooker-esque, what the second and third type of play is once they get the ball.
Very clear description. I think I understand what you're talking about, Simon. 5.5 minutes left to play. New Zealand 0, Netherlands 2. Here's New Zealand with a chance, though, lifted into the circle, though, so dangerous play from Simon Child on the near post. Burrows was there awaiting on the far post.
And Simon Child didn't seem to commit to that. He was a little bit frustrated up in that top right-hand corner. The ball got played out to him, and it was as if I haven't got any other options, so I'm just going to crash this in. The weight was on his back foot, and as soon as your shoulders and your hips move away from the ball, you stretch for it. The face of the stick opens, which is why the ball's lifted. He just needs to make sure he commits to everything he does.
Those of you wondering where Shea McAleese is for New Zealand, he took a ball in the face yesterday, a deflected shot up off Shaw's stick, and has a very big bruise on the side of his face, but the news is that he's fractured his orbit, so that's the inner part of the skull area just underneath the eye. You normally get something like 4 to 6 weeks off for an injury like that. He was desperately keen to play in this final, but the doctors and the FIH ruling him out of action just in case there was the chance of any double vision out there. So for safety reasons, Shea McAleese doesn't play the final here for New Zealand against the Netherlands.
It was a great combination of the medical teams, because as we said when it happened, he would be desperate to get back into play, and sometimes players have to be protected from themselves. The adrenaline that's pumping, masking the pain. He wanted to come back into play, and the team doctor and the FIH doctor here ruling that he just shouldn't come back into it, just in case. Better safe than sorry.
And get well soon from everyone here, and I'm sure back home. The Netherlands, though, bossing this final so far. They've taken control of the match from the very start, the very first pushback, the very first whistle. Edwards gathers and fires one forward to Jenas, just dumped off. Nowhere really for Edwards to go. Plays in Burrows inside the 25. There was a little nudge there from Edwards. Oh, we're going to see a card, are we? Yeah, we are. It's green. That's for Edwards. Gary Simmons not happy with the challenge. I was trying to see which of the Dutch players it was that went down. I think it might have been Kemperman. But Edwards just dropping the shoulder on him in that last attack.
Yeah, he did drop the shoulder on him. It was seen by Gary Simmons, and Edwards then compounded it by questioning the umpire's decision. The green card actually not for the challenge, but for the chat.
So I think at school level, the master in charge goes nuts at. 2 minutes in the sin bin for Steve Edwards.
It's just an unnecessary card. You can understand cards from a physical contest in midfield. If somebody gets a wrap across the knuckles, some kind of retaliation reaction to it, it's instinctive. Chat that happens 45 seconds after, 30 seconds after an incident is just wholly unnecessary and will frustrate coaches at absolutely any level, international, school or anywhere in between.
New Zealand down to 10 players for that 2 minutes then that Steve Edwards has in the sin bin.
It's the punishing running that the teammates have to do in this period to deny the Dutch in this instance, but the opponent, because they can then handle the ball and do effectively whatever they want and play through channels laterally across the pitch, because you don't have enough people to stop it. In doing so, you're looking at 30, 40 metre shuttles just to close down the ball carrier. Incredibly tiring.
Netherlands will be chuffed that they finally made a final. For a lot of bronze in 2013, as we touched upon. Bronze medalists at the Tri-Finance Euro Hockey Nations. But in firm control of this final against New Zealand. Child comes forward now with the ball in possession. Burrows an overlapping run. A little spin from Child. But you can see they're swarmed by orange shirts. He had nowhere to go.
Well, he had nowhere to go, and for a player of his quality, doing that kind of dribbling, fine, but he needs to be doing it 25, 30 metres further forward. It shows how deep New Zealand are being forced back. He's picking the ball up 10 metres inside his own half.
What's impressed you about the Dutch in this first half, Simon? Tell us after this next counter-attack. This, for me, is what they've done really well. Transferred the ball from right to left well, and then got the ball into the danger area inside the D. Here they come one more time, along the baseline to make it 3! There was a foul, I think, on the baseline, on the goalkeeper, on Manchester. So I think even though the ball ended up somewhere there between Manchester and Bakker, this goal won't stand. It's a New Zealand free hit.
Well, it's a lovely baseline interchange. Manchester gets over the top of it, and then as Bakker piles into him, considered to be a foul.
Cleaned him up.
Now, going back to what you asked about, Mike, I think it's been the counter-attack style of the Dutch. On pause as they counter-attack yet again.
Finally, Tarrant comes to it and denies that. Next orange attack. There's another deflection chance, and they pinch one. On half-time, it's Jonker again. His second of the night in this final. And it's the Netherlands' third goal. The crowd to their feet, the supporters to their feet, smile on the face there of Jonker. It's 3-0.
Well, Jonker immediately turned around and went to Vermeulen as if he'd started to shield something at the top of the circle. That reaction was instinctive, but Mink van der Veerden's ball into the D, absolutely awesome.
3-0 at half-time then. New Zealand 0, Netherlands 3. Manchester there goes back to the dressing room, having conceded right at the very end of the first half. Cheeky little deflection goal from Constantijn Jonker. 2 for him so far on 17 minutes, opening the scoring. Billy Bakker getting a second on 24 minutes, and the third coming right at the death there on 35. So there is confirmation of all those goals and the half-time score. In the final, it's New Zealand 0, Netherlands 3. Welcome back to the final of the Hero Hockey World League. It's New Zealand versus the Netherlands at half-time. The Netherlands lead by 3-0. 2 goals for Constantijn Jonker and 1 for Billy Bakker, giving the Olympic silver medalists a comfortable lead at half-time. Some big news coming out of New Delhi this evening. We've got our Player of the Year to be announced by the FIH, and pitchside with all that news is Dubai Sen.
Yes, thank you, Michael. A very special evening here at the Hero Hockey World League Finals. A couple of awards to give away for the FIH Talent of the Year for 2013 and the FIH Player of the Year. The FIH Talent of the Year goes to a man who has scorched the turf here at the National Stadium just about a month ago, Christopher Ruhr of Germany. Unfortunately, Christopher is not here, so his award will be given later on to his coach, Marcus Weiser. Now for the FIH Player of the Year for 2013, alongside me is Coco Podeski, who's of course FIH Executive Board member, as also President of the Pan American Hockey Federation, and he'll make the presentation for the FIH Player of the Year to 2013 to Tobias Hocker of Germany. Generous round of applause, please, for Tobias Hocker, your FIH Player of the Year 2013. Tobias, a good year for you in 2013, and for the overall team, it must be a great reward personally for you as well.
Yeah, of course, it's a big honor for me to get this award. I'm really surprised, but I think I have to say thank you to all to my teammates. Without them, I can't get this individual prize, and yeah, I'm really proud of it.
And a quick word also for the Talent of the Year, Christopher Ruhr. We've seen him in the last year in the Hockey Junior World Cup. Exceptional talent, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a brilliant guy. He's playing hockey on a really high level in this age, and yeah, I'm looking forward to play with him together, and probably we can make some good years together.
Well, congratulations once again. It's a great night for you, and have a good 2014 as well.
Thank you very much.
Tobias Hawker there, picking up the FIH Player of the Year. And speaking to Dubai Sen, pitch side. The second half of the final then to look forward to. The Indian fans are here to enjoy the match between New Zealand and Netherlands. Tobias Hawker clearly moved there by the award. Here's a look at some highlights from the first half of that final then. The Netherlands should have gone ahead there. Hertzberger on the far post. Just a little deflection off the goalkeeper, Manchester, taking it away from him. This reverse stick shot was not cleared by New Zealand. They came along the baseline here. Keep an eye, far post for the deflection. There it was from Jonker, his first. There's another look at it. In the exact right place for that delivery. Involved in the build-up here as the ball came in from Kemperman this time. And the deflection this time coming in from Billy Bakker to add a second on 24 minutes for the Olympic silver medalists. And still they came forward. That the final touch of the first half. Again, it came from Jonker's stick, tipping in there from a couple of yards out to give Netherlands a very comfortable 3-0 lead at half-time. 11 shots on target for the Netherlands, just the one for New Zealand. These stats clearly painting a picture of what the first half was like. 16-4, the circle penetrations in favour of the Netherlands, and they've controlled the possession as well, but not converted from their 2 penalty corners in the first half. Both sides are set and ready to do battle in the second half. Some huge questions asked of this New Zealand side now by the Netherlands, who have a commanding lead here in the first ever final of the Hero Hockey World League. There's a few fans in there cheering on New Zealand. Can they find a way back into this second half? They have to score early on if they're going to do that. Other results from the day: Germany beating Argentina by 2-1, Belgium beating India by 2-1, and England taking the bronze, having beaten Australia 2-1 in the bronze medal game. It's not going to be a 2-1 finish, this one. Already 3 goals on the board for the Netherlands. Second half action on the way. There's Jeroen Hertzberger, who had 11 goals in round 3 to get the Netherlands here. 2 in the final stages, where the final 8 teams of the tournament have met each other. 54 teams in total starting off the process of the Hockey World League. 16 host cities. Our final host city here, Delhi in India. So let's pick up where we left off. Second half action gets going with the Netherlands coming forward. 3 goals up, Bakker's ball comes in. A deflected effort there, Hertzberger there, and another goal inside the first minute of the second half. The Netherlands get a fourth. The final touch coming there from Bob de Voogd. And what a finish. Simon Mason, what do you think of that one?
Well, the whole play was choreographed. The Dutch have done this from restarts all tournament, but it was Bakker's running, total commitment down the sideline, across the D first time, bouncing ball but controlled it. Manchester did well, but then Bob de Voogd sticking it inside that near post past Manchester's outstretched left foot.
4-0. Fourth coming on 36 minutes.
Well, that's so frustrating for a coach. Colin Batch must be livid, because surely he's watched the video.
A chance for Edwards there, gets one back! 2 goals inside the first 2 minutes of the second half. What a start to this second half. And Steve Edwards gets New Zealand's first goal. No reaction from the coach, as you'd expect. But look at this 1-2 that he plays in here. And what about the finish to just thread it under Jaap Stockman, the goalkeeper?
Well, Sander Devine looks totally unsure where to go. The goalkeeper, I think he's expecting Stockman to step forwards, but the Dutch defence are pedestrian. Simple finish from Edwards, but should have had pressure on him either from Stockman or the defence in front of him.
Come on then, New Zealand, let's make a game of this. 37 minutes, they got their first. Can they get their second here now? 3 in 3 minutes would be insane.
Brilliantly so, however, what a start. But going back to what I was saying about Colin Batch's frustration, the Dutch restart was choreographed. They've done it every single time, and if that's the case, you have to recognise it and set your attack, or at least warn your frontline defence, your attack defence, if you like, what's going to happen. They just didn't do that. They didn't react at all and paid the price. If you look at the goals that the Black Sticks have conceded, they're so easily avoided. The first 2 were all about not having composure in your own circle when you've denied the Netherlands' first phase attack. And that fourth goal was all about setting yourself for a set play, ready to be able to anticipate it and be able to thwart it.
Jonker with the first goal against the Black Sticks this evening on 17 minutes. Billy Bakker adding a second on 24. Jonker with the final touch of the first half, adding a third. And inside the first minute of the second half, Bob de Voogd adding a fourth. Could easily be 5 here now for Hertzberger. New Zealand have clawed 1 back through Steve Edwards just moments ago. 2 minutes into the second half. 3 minutes played now in total. What a start. It's going to be a free hit. A restart at the head of the D for New Zealand. Teamwork there from the Dutch defence. Here is the goal scorer, Bob de Voogd. Deliberate slowing down in pace here from the Dutch as well, as they come right the way back into their own half to try and draw New Zealand forward. But New Zealand, the underdogs, getting to the final, ranked 7th, a huge achievement in itself. But just haven't been up to speed here with the European side, who have had the better of the possession, the better of the chances, and have actually played the nicer hockey there, as Jennis picks the ball up now inside the 25, looks to spin and gets the ball in, but takes a deflection for a long corner from Kemperman.
Well, the Netherlands controlled the first half for such long periods. They'll be looking very much to just now reset the levels. If they get into some sort of ping-pong up and down contest with the Black Sticks, they're perfectly capable, New Zealand, of scoring goals and creating chances. If the Dutch don't give them any space to run into, the likes of Burrows, Childs just can't do anything with the ball.
Reverse stick shot goes above the bar and into about the 100th stand. Not that there are that many seats, or rows here, I should say, in Delhi. But that one it went into orbit. Jennis wins the penalty corner. Best he could do from there. It's the first opportunity we get to see the New Zealand penalty corner attack.
Yeah, but there's an immediate video referral from Robert van der Horst. Feels that the ball was not high but dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, shaking that hand there, hit him on the hand. Was it dangerous?
The penalty corner for foot. The defender of Netherlands saying that he didn't play with the foot, he played with the hand on the stick. And you check it?
I will check whether it's in his foot or whether it's in his hand on his stick. Thank you.
Well, he's going to have to be a very good actor here if it has indeed come off the foot, because his reaction was immediate.
Yeah, that looks like it squashed his thumb onto the shaft of his stick. That's right in front. Oh, the camera needed to stay there. Can't see if it bounces down and then he kicks it. The first phase definitely doesn't hit his feet. Does it brush his foot as it goes past? To me, none of those replays have shown it totally clearly.
Yeah, the first, the better of those, and video umpire Andrew Kennedy of England gets a good look again and again at various angles to make his decision. He'll then relay the message down to Herman Montes de Oca, the Argentinian umpire down there, pitch side. Both sides wait on patiently. Here's another look at it from our angle. The camera's moving there. He's got that left foot off the ground.
And we have to remember that the video umpire has to have a definite reason to change the decision. And it has to be absolutely crystal clear.
The ball did not strike the foot of the Dutch defender, it did his stick. Therefore, the decision should be a bully.
Okay, thank you very much.
So no foot inside the D, no penalty corner for New Zealand. Came up off the hand of the Dutch captain, Robert van der Horst. Squashed his thumb between the stick. The two just having a little chat there, Jenis and Van der Horst will have a bully at the head of the D. Umpire just saying, wait, they were just quite happy to get on with things.
Yeah, whistle hasn't gone, but it does show the relation between the players there. They recognise the outcome of the referral, and they're not going to contest it. Ball goes off the baseline, Jenis knocking it away. Dutch have possession on 16.
That's about as soft as you're going to see these two sides play hockey tonight. Gold medal up for grabs. Brought down by Van der Veerden, above head height allowed in this tournament.
Well, Van der Veerden showed great awareness as that overhead went in, because he felt as he jumped that he could actually knock it infield past Steve Edwards, who was on that left flank.
Line over on the far side with the missed trap for the Netherlands. Drop shoulder there from Ingels on Alterstein. Free hit for the Netherlands. There's Van der Veerden on this near side. 4 goals in the tournament. Aerial ball forward is a good one. Finds Kemperman into the 25. Acres of room here. This is what they did well in the first half. But some good reactions from the youngster Russell to win the free hit there.
Yeah, did very well against Beeson. What vision from Kemperman as he looked up. You're exactly right, Mike. That is what they did so effectively in the first half. They committed the ball to one side of the pitch, but then it wasn't the vision to just see a crossfield pass to one player. There was 2 and 3 Dutch players streaming up the blind side that enabled them to play the small patterns through space and create the goal-scoring opportunities.
Sebi van As now across the 25. Netherlands 4-1 up here against New Zealand in the final, looking to make it 5 onto the baseline with Vermeulen. Good save this time from Manchester, brings it down to Panchier, who in turn runs it along the baseline. Here's Child. Oh dear, gives it away, and Bart now. Overlapping run from Kemperman, and an interception there, an important touch, otherwise Kemperman was in and home dry.
Edwards had to go absolutely full length, because it was Child who threw possession away, and you've asked the question several times about what can New Zealand do. The answer is not that. They have to have composure on the ball. If they don't show that composure and make sure that when they come out of their 25, they do so with purpose and precision, they're going to get punished.
Again, lovely skill from Kemperman, dips inside. Vermeulen, oh, looking for Kemperman, just needed a little touch there, and he watched it. Surely he could have got something on this.
Well, I'm not sure Kemperman knows this is coming back. He's run for it. He's left it. Look, he takes his stick out of the way, thinking this is past the far post.
it was for you. Reverse stick cross comes in, there's a bobbly one. Jenis was there in front of goal, as was Jacob Smith.
Yeah, the touch into the turf took it over the top of Stockman, who was diving out towards his penalty spot. A little bit more assertive and aggressive than we've seen him so far this game, having to actually get involved.
Hasn't had too many shots to deal with in this game so far, Jaap Stockman.
Van Ass one-on-one has squared his hips up so he can drive towards goal. In doing so, he just opens his vision up.
Counter-attack now from New Zealand. Smith gathers it in this left corner. Hilton on the swivel. Can he get into the D? Can he get it on a foot? And can New Zealand get back into this game? Jenis tucks one under his shoulder, but no one there. Vermeulen gathers, and eventually a bit of space here now for Kemperman. Infield, Buissant, Jonker ahead of him, and Van Ass picks up. Good overlapping run from Buissant, goes onto the reverse stick, the cross comes in. In fact, a shot for Manchester to parry away. Again, the Netherlands come forward. And off the back foot, in an almost cricket-style way, Kane Russell takes it to the boundary for a sideline.
Yeah, right at the beginning of that passage of play, it was a great left-hand save from Manchester. I think it was fired across from a ridiculously narrow angle. It brought it down well, but 2 and 3 phases we see here. Gets picked up from Buissant, and he goes to backhand from no more than 5 metres off the baseline. Manchester, big left hand.
Therefore, 4-1, if you're just joining us. New Zealand trail here to the Netherlands. It could easily be 5 now as they come forward again. Hofmann with the shot and scores right into the corner. Rogier Hofmann adds a 5th for the Netherlands. It's Netherlands 5, New Zealand 1.
That was all about the carry through midfield from Sander Bart. He picked the ball up, drove through midfield here, underarm pass. Rogier Hofmann in so much space, looks up, executes precisely. Manchester's legs just not long enough.
That's straight from the coaching manual. Rogier Hofmann takes the early shot at the head of the D, slots it into the bottom left-hand corner as he was looking at it. That's gold. New Zealand try and go back up the other end. A scuff shot there from Ingles. There is confirmation of that 5th goal on 45 minutes. Netherlands 5, New Zealand 1. What a final.
And earlier in the game we were critical about players rotating from forehand to backhand. That time, however, Hofmann staying firmly forehand, and it gives a degree more accuracy. If you look at the backhand shots we've seen over the course of not just this game, but the tournament in general, backhand shots and passes get lifted more often than not. Whereas hitting on the forehand just gives that degree more accuracy, albeit the power gets slightly compromised.
New Zealand looking to get at least one back. There's a good save, a right foot save from Jaap Stockman. Ingles on the baseline. Here's another chance. Cousins gets to it, and it's going to be a corner because Balkenstein didn't retreat the 5 yards, I don't think, there. It came up off his stick dangerously. Cousins was underneath it.
Yeah, it was dangerous lift in the circle as the ball gets played in. Cousins actually being sensible, he could easily have stepped in and swung at that, but deciding that it was a better option to get the penalty corner. It was always going to be classified as dangerous because Balkenstein was far too close.
4 from 21, the conversion rate, and New Zealand now finally get their penalty corner. Here's why. Here's the ball up off Balkenstein. Cousins just holds his ground, deemed as dangerous play, and penalty corner number 1 of the night. Bartholomew there then at the head of the D. To his right is Hugo Ingles. Jaap Stockman in the goal for the Netherlands. A goal here for the New Zealand team, essential. Penalty corner number 1 of the night. Burrows with the injection. Not stopped cleanly by Cousins at the head of the D. All the sides in this tournament have struggled there with the wobbly balls at the head of the D. Hilton doing the next best thing and earning another penalty corner, number 2 of the night.
A great execution of skill to get the ball back in to Hilton on the edge of the circle. It was an instinctive movement from the edge. Injection just pops up top edge, but look at this reaction from Cousins. That first time ball, knowing where Hilton is, he's looked as he's tracked back, and Hilton done well to get the re-award.
Injection comes in, there's the flick. Stockman parries back off his chest pad, I think. There, either way, it came back off towards Planchia. Another penalty corner. They can, of course, question this if they want to, the Netherlands.
They can, but I think they'd be unwise, because I think this is perception, this is interpretation for Herman Montes de Oca. He comes back off Stockman, and there is that immediate reaction from Planchia. We see here, out, the injection, comes off knee roll, and there's no question that's dangerous.
Agreed. Corner number 3 of the night. Bartholomew again at the head of the D. Traps it this time. Keeps it low and saved. Back as far to Hilton. And into the D. No goal. Still, New Zealand try and find a way back into this game. An injury there in the meantime to Bart.
Bart's been hit off the rebound from the corner. It comes up off Stockman. It's cleared. It's not dangerous. And the shot comes across the face of goal and thuds into Sander Bart's back.
Here's another look at it in slow motion replay. Hilton's shot inside the D, comes in there, yeah, just right into the hip bone almost of Sander Bart. Yoli now with the ball deflected, away and taken for a long corner by Shaw.
Oh, Yoli, that's a delightful slap, because the ball was skipping and bobbling in front of him. And to get that fully flush on the shaft of the stick and flat into the circle, giving his teammates opportunities for the tip-ins. We talked about that channel earlier on, that diagonal ball into the heart of the D. There's the channel opening up once again, line to goal. New Zealand have to be careful not to leave too big a gap.
Big gap between the two sides. Netherlands lead New Zealand in the final of the Hero Hockey World League by 5-1. Jonker putting the Netherlands ahead on 17 minutes before Bakker extended on 24. A third on the hooter of half-time from Jonker. Now they look to try and make it 6. Goals from Bob de Boog and also Rogier Hoffman, giving them 4 and 5 as they go in pursuit of a 6. Round the back here again, there's a shot into the side netting. This time off target from de Boog.
Well, you have to say that that wasn't the attacking option that should have been selected by Bob de Boog, as he came in down that right-hand side, firing it into the side netting off wide of the left hand of Manchester. Really shouldn't have been played there. It needed to go across the face of goal. Any coach from narrow angles wants players to fire across goal to look for support.
New Zealand's only goal so far for Steve Edwards, and we're going to see a card here, I think. Balkenstein, I think. What colour is it? It looks green. That's for that challenge.
Although you've got to say that Balkenstein set him up, peeled his hip round into English to protect the ball, and in doing so just got his heel taken out from underneath him. He got sent off.
Both players, I think, as well in the sin bin.
Indeed,
no,
okay.
Balkenstein's still on.
All right, he's just run across to offer a passing option,
Yeah, the foul is actually from Ingles there, who sat in the dugout there, in the naughty corner. The green come up for him. So New Zealand down to 10 players, 19 minutes left to play. New Zealand 1, Netherlands 5. I'm just casting my mind back as far as the Olympic Games in London, when GB suffered a 9-2 defeat to the Netherlands in the semi-final of that. Let's hope it's not as ugly for New Zealand here this evening. A little shove in the back there, I think, from Charles on Balkenstein, who again stood his ground, looking to force the foul. New Zealand need to get one back here if they stand any chance of competing. But you've got to say, the Dutch firmly in control of this final. This might change things, though. Oh, yes! Just what we ordered. Thank you, Steve Edwards. A second of the evening for him. Scored on 37 minutes. Now he's added a second. It's New Zealand 2, Netherlands 5.
you said that Black Six needed something. That's an instinctive finish. It's a Netherlands mistake in the heart of their circle. Servi van As unable to get a flat stick on it on the backhand. Pops up, look at that first time. Stockman, no chance.
Eye of the Tiger. Steve Edwards with a second for New Zealand on 52 minutes. Not done yet.
Not done at all, but you've got to question why your centre forwards back in the heart of your circle defending in any way, shape or form.
That too, remember, with New Zealand down to 10 players.
And as you were talking before that about New Zealand needing to get back into it, I was going to suggest they would enjoy a little bit more possession over these latter stages, because it's virtually impossible as a team with a 3 or 4 goal lead not to just make small, tiny assumptions, not chase quite as hard. You look at the clock and realise that everything's kind of under control. Maybe you won't commit to a ball going forward quite as much. But in doing so, it just relaxes you, and therefore the opponents can come back into it and occasionally nick something, exactly what the Black Sticks did.
The last major final that the Black Sticks took part in was that 76 Olympics. Not quite going in the same direction this major final, this Hockey World League final. 5-2 they trail. Another goal in order. Kemperman straight up the other end for the Dutch. But an interesting fact from that 76 Olympics, if you're interested. First time they ever played on an artificial surface over there at the Molson Stadium at the University of McGill. Look how far we've come. Some more stats coming your way, bottom left of your screen if you're interested in those. 57% of possession Netherlands have had, but look at that, 24 circle penetrations to New Zealand's 13. And that's amounted in more shots, as you'd expect, 16-7.
But you look at how that's changed just in these latter stages. It was 60-40 possession-wise earlier on, so only a 3% swing, but it was something like 9-1 shot count at half-time. So New Zealand definitely, even though they've only got 3% more possession, are making the most of it, coming forwards with more purpose.
Yeah, they didn't play too well, even by their own high standards in the first half. They were 3-0 down at half-time. They've certainly made a fight of it here in the second half. 2-2 as far as the second half goes, if you're to look at it in that way, and that's, well, from my experience as a player, how you approach a half.
Yeah, you just have to reset. There's no point keeping that 3-0 in your mind. It's irrelevant as you start that second 35 minutes. Colin Batchford has set certain performance targets, because he will feel that if the team play in a certain way, goals will come. There's no point as a coach just going, well, we need to score 4 goals. You have to break it down into how that's going to happen, the areas you want to get the ball into, and give his team some really simple, clear objectives.
4 goals is what New Zealand do need to score if they're going to win this game. You'd be a judge of how realistic that is. If they can get 3 back, we can go to a penalty shootout. The winner must be decided. First ever winner of the Hockey World League. The trophy is pitch side at the moment. It's got the Netherlands name on it, as it did in Tucumán in Argentina for the women. Women beating Australia 5-1 in the final. There's a shot that goes wide this time from Jenis. Needed to get this on target.
Yeah, I actually think he needs to pass it under his arm. Little ball under the arm here to Jenis, but look at the support run. Doesn't come into shot, sorry. The shot wild and over the bar.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. There was a run there. I didn't see the other forward that was on at the time. It might have been Hilton who was running in support, but there was definitely another black top at the head of the D there, and that dump pass that you're talking about was probably the preferred option. Hertzberger forward now to Vermeulen. Here's some space. Jonker for his hat-trick. Shoots over the bar.
Not wishing to go back to things I've said, however, we talked about earlier on, reverse stick shots get lifted. It's gone on to backhand over the bar. How many times? That's 2 backhands in the last 2 minutes. Spin onto forehand and just gently place it in the bottom corner.
And he had all the time in the world there. Constantijn Jonker opened the scoring on 17 minutes, added a 3rd goal for the Netherlands at the end of the first half. 5-2, they still lead. Could have been 6.
In that case, I understand absolutely why he did that. That's jug avoidance for a hat-trick.
Could well be. A little mistake here at the back from Van der Weerden, and charged down by Hilton, who then went through on the goalkeeper, so he's blown up for that. Well, it's a little bit harsh. I think he's going to get a card for this. That is outrageous, in my opinion. I agree. What about this? He's been penalised for sliding in here on this. Gets a touch on it, and he's been given a yellow card. Crazy.
Incredibly harsh. Great commitment from Hilton. That's a loose ball. There's nothing he can do to stop himself. Stolman's got a bit of a headbutt in his kneecaps. Cruel to the back sticks.
Well, they're down to 10 players. Had a harsh blow as the Netherlands come forward again. Blair Hilton. Well, we feel your pain up here, and I'm sure watching back home as well. Showing full commitment to get to that ball. Got a touch on it. Yes, he did follow through on the goalkeeper, but absolutely nothing he could do on this turf. Once you get going on the water base, there's no holding back.
Like he was going for a lost cause. It's 50-50, had to go for it.
Overlapping run here for Mullen to make it 6 for the Netherlands, all the way to the baseline, sets it up for Bakker, who gets a second of the night for him, and it is a 6th now for the Netherlands. A commanding lead in the final, dominating it. It's New Zealand 2, Netherlands 6.
New Zealand's possibly paying the price for not having the extra men. Netherlands have found that channel, that space with alarming regularity. It's a great finish from Bakker, but the ball gets to Vermeulen with very little pressure on him.
It's exactly the sort of move you see on a whiteboard in the change room. The coach says, hit the baseline, pull it back, someone will be there. Bakker was there to Vermeulen's pass, and it's 6-2. So there, Bakker scoring on 58 minutes. For the Netherlands. Game over, you've got to say, with 12 minutes left to play. It would be the greatest comeback of all time. 11 minutes now on the clock. New Zealand 2, Netherlands 6. Disappointing night for the Black Sticks, but an impressive tournament. They have to take what they can from it. A valuable learning experience for New Zealand's players. The World Cup to look forward to in The Hague at the end of the May and beginning of June. Looking forward to that already. We've been privy to some amazing stick skills and team skills here displayed in Delhi and on the night as well. Netherlands firmly in control. Well, Child with his shin pads off, looks like he's already packing up to go home.
Yeah, with that thigh strapped, it did actually look like he was putting shin pads in his bag, ready to go. Feels that now at 6 goals to 2 in favour of the Netherlands, there's not a lot more that he can do, and therefore doesn't want to damage himself with this very big year coming up.
Simon Child, who'll also be staying in Delhi as well, don't forget, he's going to be playing for the Delhi Wave Riders in the Hockey India League, so we'll have plenty more hockey to look forward to over the coming month.
Well, the passage of play momentarily a moment ago, showing how dominant the Netherlands have been. Kane Russell, who's been man of the match in a couple of the games, having to just roll back in with nothing on.
It's Hoffman now with another deflected goal for Jonker, his hat-trick, the Netherlands' 7th goal. They are thrashing the pants off New Zealand here. Pretty for the Dutch, ugly for New Zealand. New Zealand 2, Netherlands 7.
And as soon as the ball went out to the right channel, you see here that ball across from Hoffman. Jonker's led across Manchester. Manchester with no defensive support at all. Eyes up, looks 3 times before he slaps this in. Jonker with a delicate little glancing touch inside the near post. You could say Manchester should be more aggressive, but that's a great goal.
Up the other end, we're going to see another card. Jonker's goal on 61 minutes. The umpire wants to send someone else off here now. This for a trip. Green card. I think it's for Vermeulen. Well, he has to just laugh that off, doesn't he? Look at the scoreboard, 7-2, but the Netherlands now down to 10 players. I think that was for a trip. We were looking back at the highlights of that goal from Jonker, that hat-trick goal, but a little trip going in there, according to the umpire at least. And Vermeulen getting a green card.
Yeah, and you can't, the Dutch try to get a video refer, but you can't video refer a card decision. You only video refer a foul for a corner or a goal or that kind of thing, but if the umpire gives a card, that's his opinion. You can't then rescind that card.
Necessarily agreed with his opinion in this second half every time, but that's it's just me. I'm sure they'll have a nice beer at the end of this tournament and discuss various aspects of the tournament, from video umpire to various decisions, not just tonight, but throughout the tournament as we head towards the World Cup again. Everyone just trying to tweak it, just so it's perfect in time for The Hague and that World Cup. This is the sort of build-up to that, if you like, the mini World Cup, where the New Zealand team have proven that they're a side to be reckoned with, as Burrows gets the free hit going, and around the back and into the D, just pinched away from him, but that free hit won by Burrows. Must be taken back 5 metres. Panchia this time with the ball, goal band. Deflection came in from Ingles. Hilton back on the pitch, incidentally, after his suspension.
New Zealand now choosing to go all the way round. Netherlands defending narrow. Backer allowing the ball to go out to that touchline, denying route one ball to goal. And now Netherlands don't necessarily, New Zealand don't necessarily get desperate, but they will be looking at the clock, and therefore to try and achieve things in these last minutes. There'll be a bit more crash ball in. So the Netherlands front defence doing well to keep narrow.
Ingles looking to go onto the forehand, has to go reverse. I think there's a little chance here as it bobbles towards Stockman. Panchia follows in, and then eventually the aerial from Van der Horst upfield. Hertzberger now, and the Dutch will counter-attack. 3 on 3 at the back. Backer with a little touch there that helps it towards De Voet, and that ball wasted from him. He had Hertzberger ahead of him on the right-hand post. Buisson on the overlapping run. And a wasted chance. Jaap Stockman will now make way for Pierman Blaak, the reserve goalkeeper here in India. And he will now conclude the final 6 minutes or so of play. Jaap Stockman gets a standing ovation from the Dutch fans on this near side, and Blaak takes his place in goal for the remaining 6 minutes or so.
Yeah, nice of him to come on in an event like this. Euro World League final, it's something that as a second choice goalkeeper with some of these nations, they don't get a chance very often. It's not like the Aussies who change their goalkeepers halfway through pretty much every game. Some of the European nations don't play their second goalkeeper at all. So for him to come on and just get another cap and a taste of the game quality of match, super for him.
Wonderful overhead pick there from Panchia. It sets up this counter-attack for New Zealand. Genesis cross got a deflection, so it'll be a long corner. But it all came from that ball, and there was a deflection chance too in the middle of the park for Bartholomew.
Well, Bartholomew should have committed to this. It's drilled across, flat, hard. It's the simplest of balls to attack as a forward. Needed to be Bartholomew going at it, probably on his nose, stick extended.
Another aerial ball comfortably brought down by Kemperman. Hertzberger injects a little bit of life and pace as he tries to get into the D, rolls in successfully. Oh, lovely skills, but played it onto his own foot. Rounded 3 players there to get it into the D.
Yeah, but a champagne hockey to finish with Hertzberg showboating down the right-hand side. He probably needed to take account of where Kemperman had run. Kemperman dropped the ball out to the right-hand side and then did a long lead run away to the left, out of the defender's vision. There was a pass under the arm for Hertzberger if he'd chosen to take it, but spinning like a top into the right-hand side of the D.
Long corner for New Zealand. 4.5 minutes left to play as Ingles draws the foul, which Panchia will take. Burrows with the crash ball in, picked up by Van der Horst. Again, New Zealand with numbers committed forward. Hertzberger now for the Dutch. plenty of option here, goes himself. And Burrows there, the last line of defence for New Zealand. The game really stretched now, and chances up both end emerging. Off the foot there of Van der Veerden. So New Zealand into the dying minutes. It's not been their night, it's not been their final as Cousins peels out. Let's bring you up to speed with where everyone finished. Argentina finished 8th after losing out to Germany. So Germany 7th, the host India finished 6th after losing 2-1 to Belgium. Belgium finishing 5th. That ball comes into the D, which Van der Veerden just swipes away for a sideline hit. Our 3rd and 4th place match. England beating Australia by 2-1 to win the bronze. And the Netherlands are going to pick up gold here in the first ever Hero Hockey World League against New Zealand in this final. So 3 minutes left. The damage done early doors in this game. Simon, 3 goals inside the first half. And then, despite New Zealand's best efforts in this second half, the Netherlands just too good on the night.
They have been just too good. They started strongly. They handled the ball really, really well. They didn't give New Zealand any time to compose themselves. New Zealand didn't help themselves at all by making some fairly basic errors in the heart of their own defence. Some of the individual play from people like Hertzberger driving forwards. Simon Carl not looking particularly happy at all.
I don't blame him.
No, not at all. But yeah, so going back, Hertzberger has just been fantastic running forwards. Some great goal scorers on the night, and some really super skills for both beginners and mature hockey players watching this alike to enjoy.
After the ecstasy of that shootout win against England yesterday in the semi-final, a contrasting mood out there for New Zealand this evening. Losing in the final, and in convincing fashion as well. Playing it out to the bitter end though, as you'd expect.
Yeah, it's one of those results that really hurts at the time, because nobody likes to get beaten by this kind of, well, any scoreline, but this kind of scoreline particularly.
Yeah, not in a final as well. Last-ditch effort to get one back as Bartholomew's ball was cut out inside the D. Here is Kemperman. Backer now in search of his hat-trick. Already got one hat-trick hero from the evening, Jonker. There's Hertzberger. No goals for him this evening, just 2 in the tournament. Oh, lovely skills through the legs.
Gary Shimmer saying, play on,
yeah. Free hit.
You have to say that I would suggest that at a different stage of the game, and umpires shouldn't be influenced by time, but at a different stage of a more meaningful game, that may well have been a free hit rather than play on. That's great individual skills. You've kind of fallen over, but get on with it.
Well, inside the final minute of play now. Crowd just springing back into life for the conclusion of this final game. They've come a long way since August last year. Even back in 2012, even. Yoli then to finish it off for the Netherlands. Shaw there, making sure and carrying out a defence.
Look at the effort and commitment from Yoli. He knows he went too high as a centre-back. He went too high to try and commit it and made a bad decision, but he'd go back and help, still the same.
Final couple of seconds, can they get a corner onto the reverse stick? The shot comes in! Oh, that would have been the icing on the cake for the Dutch. It was Vermeulen sliding in on the far post. In all the excitement, the hooter has sounded, and the Netherlands have won the final, and they've won it in convincing fashion. Final score here at the Hero Hockey World League final is New Zealand 2, Netherlands 7. Well, no goals this evening for Mink van der Veerden, 4 in the tournament. Something for the Dutch to celebrate this evening. Commiserations to New Zealand, the Black Sticks gave it everything, but on the night, Jenis and co. just not strong enough to compete with the Olympic silver medalists. Valuable world ranking points gain, though, for New Zealand. Full-time score here in the final. New Zealand 2, Netherlands 7. Well, there a look at the scoreline as they set up for the medal presentation here in New Delhi. Contrasting moods again. Probably don't need me to translate from the lips there of Burrows, Phil Burrows, visibly frustrated. Marcel Boukestein, ecstatic. The Dutch have gold. Nice way to start 2014, a bit of gold in the pocket.
Well, fantastic, and the Dutch do well. A team renowned for their flair, but they didn't rely on that flair. It was all about the commitment shown in those last minutes, summed it up. At times when they've been down, they've had to pick themselves up and go forward. They've got an incredible number of individuals who played really well, but as a team, they came together as a cohesive unit.
Maybe a sign of things to come as well with the World Cup at The Hague this year. It starts on the 31st of May. The Dutch, the hosts, setting their stall out early in 2014 with a gold medal here at the Hero Hockey World League final. The women as well, doing exactly the same in Tucumán at the end of last year, beating Australia 5-1 in the Hockey World League final there in December. The men have done exactly the same here in New Delhi. Wouldn't be surprised if we see these boys down in the hotel bar early tomorrow morning. New Zealand then can be very proud of their efforts of reaching the final. A real team effort to meet the Netherlands there, but the Netherlands far too strong on the night and have beaten New Zealand by 7-2. So all the teams here in Delhi, some of them happier than others. There's a few Dutch fans, and the celebrations continue pitch side. England have also joined the party. Bronze medalists today, having won by 2-1 against rivals Australia. Every single other result 2-1. We can head pitch side for a man of the match. Who was yours? Divine Sen.
Welcome one final time to the Hero post-match presentation in this Hero Hockey World League final. And joining me for this particular presentation is Mr. Kelly Fairweather, who is, of course, CEO of the International Hockey Federation. And he'll present the Hero Man of the Match trophy, as well as a check for 25,000 rupees to today's Man of the Match, the man of the final, Constantijn Jonker from the Netherlands. Constantijn, a great performance from your team. Would it be fair to say that you've picked up your performances as the days went along and reserved the best for last?
Absolutely. I think we had a rough start against Argentina, the first match. And I think in the few matches after that match, we just became better, minute for minute. And with the biggest result in the final, 7-2.
Watching from outside, one thing which stands out in your team is a lot of spirit. Everybody seems to enjoy each other's success. That must be true of the team?
Absolutely, and I think that's the reason why we scored 7 goals today.
And your own performance, of course, the last, you also saved your best for last. Hat-trick, always special in any big final?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And just your thoughts looking forward to this year. The World Cup is just about 19 weeks away. How does the team view this performance from that perspective?
Yeah, I think it's a good start, but nothing more than that. We have a long road ahead of us, and we're going to train every day very hard to be at the top level at the World Cup.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. And at home, congrats once again, and thanks for talking to us.
Thank you very much.
So there are the Dutch team celebrating, about to be awarded their gold medal. Maybe you can stay with us, maybe you have to get off somewhere. If you are departing, thank you very much for your company. Michael Absalom, Simon Mason, Divine Sen, and Cedric de Souza, been with you every step of the way of this first ever Hero Hockey World League. We'll leave the Dutch fans to celebrate long into the night. The teams making their way out for the medal ceremony. The Netherlands, the champions, they beat New Zealand in the final, and England picking up the bronze medal, defeating Australia in that bronze medal match by 2-1. There are all the teams gathered, suited and booted, and ready to pick up their medals. If you do have to dash off, thanks very much for being part of what has been a very memorable tournament for all involved. The Netherlands are the champions. 7 goals on the night, a hat-trick for Constantijn Jonker, goals for Hofman, De Voogd, and a couple for Billy Bakker as well on the night. There is the final scoreline of the first ever Hero Hockey World League final. It's New Zealand 2, Netherlands 7. So then the crowd wait on. Some of them having come thousands of miles to support their family and friends on telly again. All seeing themselves here on the big screen. Well, spare a thought there for the New Zealand side. Won't feel so bad tomorrow morning. They made it to the final. First time in a long time. First major final since '76. So they can be very proud of their achievements here. The Dutch, well, they've been to numerous finals, but silver medalists in the Olympic Games, bronze medalists at last year's Euro Hockey Nations. They finally pick up some gold, and they've done it in convincing fashion. We can head down pitch side. There we see Coco Badejski, FIH representative, presenting Ilana Norman, the CEO of Hockey India, with an FIH pennant. Next forward is the junior player of the event. To make the award, Lieutenant General Anirudh Chakravarti, Director General of the National Cadet Corps, and Mandeep Singh of India is our junior player of the event. Mandeep will be in action for the Ranchi Rhinos. A couple of goals in this tournament for India, and also picks up a check there as well. There is the Doc, as I know him, Dr. Batra, organised this tournament here as England await to pick up their bronze medals. They've also got another award winner amongst them. Best goalkeeper is presented to George Pinner of England, and will be presented by another doctor, Dr. R.P. Singh, the athlete representative of Hockey India, who's been here watching all the talent from the top 8 teams that have made it through to the finals of the Hero Hockey World League. George Pinner then of England picking up best goalkeeper at the Hockey World League here in Delhi. ₹100,000 there as well that he can share, and the England fans sharing a laugh as well. Next award of the evening is the Hero Top Scorer. It'll be presented by Jason McCracken, the tournament director, and it goes to Kieran Govers. 6 goals for the Australian striker. Didn't win their bronze medal match today against England, but a smile there from Govers as he hits the Hero Top Scorer. Best player awarded to a Dutchie, a very popular Dutchman too, and Coco Badejski making way there for the head of the Dutch Federation, Jan Albers, the FIH Executive Board member. Robert Kemperman on the receiving end of the Hero Best Player Award. So just one of the trophies that the Dutch will be taking home. The big one still to come. Our bronze medalists, though, stepping up. And the bronze. There they are, it's England. And Jan Albers, the FIH Executive Board member, along with Miss Elena Norman, the CEO of Hockey India, awarding England their bronze medals. They fought hard, unbeaten until the semi-finals, and all the way against New Zealand yesterday, finished 3-3, lost in a shootout, but have medals to show for it today, having beaten Australia by 2-1. Tell you what, it certainly feels better returning home with a medal. The bronze medal then for England. Some souvenirs as well, some pashminas. Some of the lads early on in the tournament going pashmina shopping for their girlfriends. Now they've got another one to give the wife or the missus. I think they've got some tailored suits to pick up as well from Delhi. Maybe they'll be going out in those this evening to celebrate that bronze medal. Brogdon, who missed an absolute sitter today, it didn't turn out to be crucial or the turning point of the match. Picks up a bronze medal alongside him. Harry Martin, young Whiteman, his first bit of silverware. It's bronze. Dixon and Pinner and Jackson, all among the bronze medalists as well. So there you have it. England, third place here in New Delhi. Ranked fourth, so a good performance from the England side. They'll be happy with that. It's a keeper. Well, then our silver medalists step up onto the podium. Our runners-up this year are New Zealand. Finished second after beating England in that semi-final yesterday. They've given the crowd something to cheer about, not just here in New Delhi, but back home as well. The Black Sticks can be very proud of their achievements. Not since '76 have they made a final, a major final. Their best performance in recent times, that fourth at the 2011 Champions Trophy, at the highest finish since '76. There are silver medalists here at the Hero Hockey World League final. Silver medals being handed out by FIH's Jason McCracken, the tournament director of the event. And a fantastic event it has been as well, with Miss Ariyama Koshi at his side, president of Hockey India. Medals go on around the necks. Again, some more souvenirs to take back home to New Zealand. So many positives to take out of this tournament for the Black Sticks. Ranked 7th, remember, finished second here, so there'll be some valuable FIH world ranking points. Those will be released on Tuesday the 21st of February. But if you've ever won a silver medal, doesn't quite do the thing or do the trick, does it? Doesn't quite. Yeah, well, just look at Dean Cousins there. That sums it up, doesn't it? Silver medal for New Zealand and some glum faces to go along with it. I guarantee that'll feel a lot better tomorrow morning when they wake up. A silver medal for New Zealand at the Hero Hockey World League. But the champions and the first ever winners of the Hero Hockey World League here in Delhi are the Netherlands. Convincing winners on the night against New Zealand. 7 goals on the board. Final score was 7-2. Hertzberger the first to pick up his gold medal. The Olympic silver medalists going one better here in Delhi. Crowned champions of the World League. Finally, gold medals coming their way. And again, FIH representative Coco Badesky, executive board member, joined alongside Miss Yashahara Raja Skidia, the Honourable Minister of Industry, Commerce and Sports of the government at Madhya Pradesh, holding the gold medals to the Dutch side. Stockman there in the middle made some important saves for making way for his teammate, Herman Blaak, in this game. Final where everyone played their part. Impressed by the number of Dutch supporters that have come along to support the Netherlands out here. They will be loving this back home. Sets the tone for the year. The World Cup coming to The Hague at the end of May in 2014. I'll tell you what, they'd love to pick up gold there. We're expecting quite a welcome in The Hague. Not long to wait. With the Commonwealth Games and the Champions Trophy back here in India to look forward to. What a year it is in the hockey calendar. England away to the right, the bronze medalists. Way to the left of the picture, New Zealand the silver medalists. And the gold medalists of the first ever Hockey World League are the Netherlands. Well, there's Jonker, all smiles in the middle of the picture there. A hat-trick on the night for him. Goals 2 for Hoffman there, De Voog, and 2 for Billy Backer on the right of your picture. Here comes the trophy. First time it's ever been presented. And Coco Badesky will hand it over to Robert van der Horst, the Dutch captain. Well, there we go. The Netherlands are crowned champions here. They are the champions of the Hero Hockey World League 2014. Let the celebrations begin. Champions of the world. They are the first ever winners of the Hero Hockey World League. They've done it in style here in the final, winning by 7 goals to 2. Yes, open it up, spray it everywhere. Champagne for everyone. Some champagne hockey as well out there from the Dutch in the final, convincingly beating New Zealand by 7 goals to 2. We'll leave you with these pictures, and we'll thank you for your company. We'll see you in The Hague next time round, when we'll be following the Dutch side, the men's and the women's sides, all in action in The Hague. And we look very much to your company there as well. Looking forward to it. So from myself, Michael Absalom, Dubai Sen, Simon Mason and Cedric D'Souza and everyone here that's been a part of the first ever Hero Hockey World League, thank you for your company. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. We'll see you very soon. The Netherlands are the champions of the world.